Today, Bitcoin and Ether are on the rise as tech stocks climb. Well, Eric Trump and Asher Genoot of American Bitcoin join us to discuss the Bitcoin miners' first trading day on the Nasdaq. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Digital currencies are in the green today alongside a rally among tech stocks led by Google. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin was on the rise, crossing the $112,000 level. Ether is also moving higher, $4,480. The Solana token rose to $211, continuing its one-month outperformance of both Bitcoin and ETH as institutional interest shifts toward the network. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. The SEC and CFTC came together for new guidance on spot crypto asset trading. The two agencies released a joint statement on Tuesday clarifying that exchanges registered with the regulators are not prohibited from facilitating the trading of certain spot crypto commodity products. The statement means registered exchanges who previously avoided spot crypto offerings due to regulatory uncertainty can consider bringing those products on board. SEC Chair Paul Atkins said the statement is a significant step forward in bringing innovation in the crypto asset markets back to America, while acting CFTC Chair Caroline Pham said in the past the agencies had sent mixed signals about regulation for crypto, but, quote, that chapter is over. All right, jumping to our other big story today, American Bitcoin, the Bitcoin mining project co-founded by President Trump's sons Eric and Don Jr. and in partnership with Hut 8, is listing on the Nasdaq today under the ticker ABTC after completing a merger with Griffin Digital Mining. That stock was up around 30% by noon. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Eric Trump and American Bitcoin Executive Chairman Asher Genoot about the listing, the Trump family's crypto plans, and more.
It's a big day for American Bitcoin, with the company debuting on the Nasdaq under the ticker ABTC. Now, this comes after the completion of its stock-for-stock merger with Griffin Digital Mining. Now, ever since the launch of American Bitcoin was first announced back in March, you made it clear that becoming a publicly listed company was a big goal. And here we are, less than half a year later, and American Bitcoin started to trade on the Nasdaq. Eric, what does this day signify to you? And why was it such a priority for American Bitcoin to become a publicly listed company?
Well, this is awesome. Asher's become a great friend of mine. And, you know, when you devote so much time and effort and kind of resources, and I don't think there's any two people who could have brought a company, public quicker than Asher and I did, thinking about getting from, kind of zero to where we are today and watching what the stock is doing right now is just, it's beautiful and incredibly rewarding. And we did that in 5 months, right? That's unheard of. And I think probably a lot about who I am and what I do for a living, and probably the genetics that I have. We like to do things quick. We like to win races, and I think we're going to do that. We've got one of the greatest products on earth, and that's Bitcoin. I truly believe in it. I think it's one of the greatest assets out there. I think it's one of the greatest stores of value. I think it's the ultimate hedge against other hard assets like real estate, which is another part of my life. And it's all being done in America, by Americans, and we're having a great time together. So. Today's certainly a celebration for all of us, but the real work just begins.
Now, Asher, you're the CEO of energy infrastructure operator Hut 8. You're also a board member and executive chairman of American Bitcoin, which is a majority-owned subsidiary of Hut 8 focused on Bitcoin mining and strategic Bitcoin reserve development. So now that American Bitcoin is public, what's next for the company, and how do you split your time between Hut 8 and American Bitcoin, which are now both publicly listed companies?
Growth and scale. At American Bitcoin, we're looking to build America's Bitcoin infrastructure backbone, and that's key. And so there's a lot of synergy between the two companies, which make it pretty easy. Hut 8 is building infrastructure, it's building energy infrastructure, digital infrastructure across the United States, and we're scaling and building large-scale campuses. And a consumer of those campuses is American Bitcoin. And so American Bitcoin is able to just focus on buying the chip or buying Bitcoin, not having to build out a multi-hundred person team to be able to manage these facilities, not having to invest in assets that don't drive Bitcoin directly. And so these businesses are really synergistic. At Hut 8, we felt compelled to carve out these assets because we started having two types of shareholders, ones that really wanted to go long energy and others that wanted to go long Bitcoin. And now by having two publicly listed companies, we can have shareholders who want to go long energy, invest and buy into Hut 8, and shareholders that want to go long Bitcoin, invest and buy into American Bitcoin. And I think This morning, I think we were halted almost 3 or 4 times on trading because of the excitement and the momentum in the performance of the stock this morning. So we're extremely fortunate and grateful. And as Eric mentioned, the work has really just begun.
So what's next for American Bitcoin now that it is, in fact, a publicly traded company?
Well, it's simple. It's a race to accumulate the most Bitcoin, right? We believe in the asset. It's an asset that, year over year is appreciating, and we're between kind of 50 and 70% over the last 10-year period of time. It's one of the great stores of value. I'm all over the world. I've got real estate projects all over the world. Everywhere I go, every Fortune 500 company, every sovereign wealth fund, every big family, retail investor company, they want Bitcoin. They want to put it on their treasury. And we're in the infancy of cryptocurrency. I mean, cryptocurrency is growing faster than the internet by a factor of a lot. We're in the middle of a kind of financial revolution around the world where finance is going to be conducted very differently on many different platforms, and you're going to have new stores of value. And Bitcoin is clearly, unquestionably winning the race, right? It is the digital gold. It's what everybody wants, and we're incredibly excited about it. And so when you can take an asset that's so desired, and is really opening up to the capital markets right now, whether it be through equities, as we're seeing with American Bitcoin, or through the custody of all the largest banks. When you take that force and then you look at what we're doing at American Bitcoin, where you can literally mine Bitcoin at almost 50 cent dollars to current kind of market prices, it's a match made in heaven. But again, on truly an asset that we believe in with every ounce of our heart and soul.
Speaking of first days of public trading, Eric, your family's World Liberty token had a few volatile first few days of trading, but still, your family stands to rake in billions from the token. The Wall Street Journal reported on Monday that your family amassed as much as $5 billion in wealth after the token opened for trading. Can you confirm that number or give more insight there? And do you plan to use the proceeds from the token launch for other crypto ventures? World Liberty launched the dollar-backed stablecoin USD1 back in March, of course, but are any other new Trump family crypto ventures on the horizon?
So, USD1 is the fastest growing stablecoin in history by far. We started trading at 1 penny, and when we went public the other day, it's roughly trading at 25. So it was almost a 25x in a couple months. So it was an unbelievable success, and I think you guys gave us a lot of credit for it. But listen, this whole voyage started out of just what the banks did to us, traditional financial system did to us. I mean, I was canceled like a dog for running golf courses, for running hotels. I mean, Capital One stripped 300 bank accounts in the middle of the night from me from doing absolutely nothing wrong, only because my family wore a red hat that said "Make America Great Again." I would have never found cryptocurrency had it not been for what the traditional financial institutions did to us. Now they're all coming back, trying to do the exact opposite, trying to get our accounts back and everything else. But it brought me into a world that I believe is so powerful. I mean, why are money transfers sent out 9 to 5 Monday through Friday? Why isn't global finance 24/7? Why is it that you can take a young couple 120 days to get a mortgage, if they can even get a mortgage at all, from a bank that they've done business with for 10 years? And I mean, the traditional banking system has so many fundamental problems, and there isn't a week that goes by where I'm not waiting for a swift wire transfer to come in or be sent out, where I'm worried that if I miss the 459, the company is not going to receive it until the next, Tuesday. I mean, it's antiquated, it's slow, it's inefficient as hell. And it's not until I started getting canceled and had to come up with an alternative did I figure out, how cryptocurrency just across the spectrum, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be what we're doing with American Bitcoin, whether it be stablecoin as kind of rails for payments, is going to transform really the world, not just America, but the world, and also provide so much economic freedom to so many people in countries that do not have the system that we have here in the United States of America. So crypto, I am in it for the long haul. I hope to become one of the great spokespeople for the industry. I think I've proven that over the last 2 years. And there's nothing I'm more passionate about. And we're doing phenomenal on both fronts. We have the two best projects in all of cryptocurrency. And today's a very special day for American Bitcoin.
Yeah, and look, I can attest to that. Not only is Eric an unbelievable spokesperson for the industry, but he's a true believer. And when we're in these crypto communities and these crowds, I mean, it's very easy to tell if someone sticks out like a sore thumb or if they're actually a part of the community. And Eric's a part of the community. He's not only just an ambassador or a part of these two companies, he's a co-founder, he's a builder, he's a partner. And I think when people ask me all the time, how often do you talk to Eric? I was like, I talk to Eric more than my fiance. Like, we're in this, we're building this, and so it's unbelievable. And look, a part of this is not just the belief in Bitcoin and trying to build global adoption internationally, but also when people globally adopt Bitcoin as the ultimate store of value, making sure a lot of that security and a lot of that infrastructure is built right here in the USA. And so that's an important part of American Bitcoin as well.
And you can certainly tell that you definitely get along very well. Now, Eric, the trading debut of the World Liberty Token is casting a spotlight on your family's growing footprints in the crypto space. World Liberty's website notes that President Trump and certain family members own about 38% of the equity interests in World Liberty and receive up to 75% of the token sale proceeds. There has been mounting opposition tied to your father's crypto ventures. In July, during what was dubbed Crypto Week on Capitol Hill, top House Democrats launched what they called Anti-Crypto Corruption Week, accusing Republicans of enabling corruption tied to your father's crypto agenda. Also, Senator Elizabeth Warren and other Democrats sent several letters to government entities voicing concerns tied to your father's crypto dealings. The White House has maintained that there are no conflicts of interest, telling us that President Trump's assets are in a trust managed by his children, including yourself. But Eric, what do you say to this growing opposition from Democrats who think your family's involvement in crypto pose potential conflicts of interest?
Listen, the reality is very simple. My father has nothing to do with the business. I have nothing to do with government. I want nothing to do with government. And, frankly, at this point, he has the biggest job in the world. He wants nothing to do with, the business. There's complete, separation of church and state. As I said before, it's ironic coming from somebody like Elizabeth Warren, who's saying, who's bringing a conflict. I mean, she was the one that got us canceled by every single financial institution. We had nowhere else to go. I mean, I was stranded with one of the greatest companies in the world that has tens of thousands of Americans working for it, being debanked every single day by the largest financial institutions on earth for having done absolutely nothing wrong other than a political affiliation. And then all of a sudden you find an industry, that will accept you. By the way, the very same people who were targeting us were also targeting the crypto community. They were going after them, all because you had some people who were really innovative in this country and believed in modern day finance and believed that the banks could be doing things, better, cleaner, safer, cheaper, more transparently. There is no conflict of interest. I'm very proud of this. My father certainly was a co-founder of World Liberty Financial, and that was about 10 months before he decided to, won the election.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.